new song you've now put yourself within. Now, that new song may only have to sing for one syllable wrong as you pop back into the center focus of the previous line. It really just depends on how soft you're able to mold with the moment as if this is going to happen, or whether or not this is going to happen. So if you can become less and less triggered by these seeming mistakes or things like that, knowing that you're a non-doer and that you really do have no control of these kinds of things to occur, you're just watching this, observing this, and then learning the rebuttaling or the fixing or the coming into equanimity with this. That way you can transfer this teaching to other things within their reality. If this isn't happening for you right now, don't worry, it's happening for me. It's amazing, wonderful realm and specificity, and it is what is being happened and what is being brought to focus for all of us. An amazing honesty with the authenticity of our journey, our direct experience currently, that we'll be able to bring things into an amazing impeccability with learning and a fast transition in frequency that will accelerate the pathway of liberation and the freedom from suffering for all beings everywhere without one exception. So that's really very, very, very wonderful. It'll come with patience. As you release attachment, need to do something for this reason or for that reason. It'll be easy to have patience because you don't have any necessary reason to be going anywhere, really. I mean, like me, yeah, we're going to go eat something, sure. But as we move to each step of the journey, it's not really like an emergency or anything like that. And so I just can feel into the moment of what's happening. And now we're moving much more slowly, I understand. Which would make me feel really great about having a house, by the way, a mansion or something, someplace to dwell, or just some land, or somewhere I could just sit. I mean, land sounds nice, but then I need a structure that could support heat and maybe a bunch of wood, because I'm not trying to die in the freezing winter. But and you'll say, well, what are you talking about? Your limitless consciousness. Well, for some reason, it's keeping me quite ordinary, and no Tuma practice has come to me, any of those things. And because I don't force reality, I can't make these things happen for me. So, if I overnight instantaneously, because I'm freezing to death, learn how to heat myself internally, then awesome. If the compassion dwells in me necessarily to bring me to the present focus of having that rise in fruition within me, then I guess great. If this happens, it will have to happen by my accidental choice, not because I'm choosing it, because I choose comfort at this time. I'm choosing, which I mean, you see, comfort, what does that mean? I just mean like being alive. I choose to be alive at this moment. I choose to love myself enough to not die, and right now I know when I become a certain level of cold, I feel like death is upon me. So I will usually navigate myself away from these kinds of learnings and growths and not force myself to learn something. If I accidentally come upon the need to learn something, most likely I'm going to be just doing like breath work and like light language and movement so I can bring heat to my body in those moments probably, and just hope that I don't exhaust all of my energy, my nutrients, and my water to where it's no longer sustainable to move at that rate and still continue being warm until a time when sun comes and I can go somewhere and be warm, or whatever it is that happens to be my current predicament at that time. Maybe a plane falls and I'm in an icy tundra. I guess then I would just probably surrender to death. And maybe that would bring about the awareness of how to heat my body. I don't know. I mean, the letting go of preference to the realm of temperature at that time. I feel like I'm pretty good at all that, but for some reason it just hasn't come into that. So I would like a structure with heat. But it would be really wonderful because, I don't really have to go very many places, and everything that I'm around is pretty potent a teacher. But maybe that's also why it's good to be out here in the world, because then we could just use the very normal teachings of the world that are very common to us all as ways to express the very mundane perfection that's constantly occurring within everything. And I guess you'll just have to bear with me, and by you I also mean Ray, because even though we're moving extremely slowly, and very sorry for that. Thank you so much for your camera viewing and your ability to stay with me through the currents of these frequencies, which no being has really been able to do so far. So I just have to say the majesty and amazingness that is the phenomenal gift of the presence of Ray to me. It's like, oh, thank goodness. You know how hard this would be for me to do by myself. because I have to be able to move, you know. But okay, here we go. Woo. Are we doing good? Are we done? Are we here still? What's going on? You got to feel the body. Feel the body. I think we're good. I think we could. Usually I would walk or something. Something with this knee just now, and then something with that side of the foot just then. Okay, so we'll stretch it on out. Yeah, just stretch it on out. Feel into those spots. And I just keep awareness on those particular spots, and motion kind of begins itself from those positionings, whatever the tension point is. And it's just awareness, so it's a very soft, subtle focus that allows movement. And that's usually pretty helpful. Sometimes I'm in quite the hurry and I don't have time for this, and so I end up doing this eventually, maybe even days after, who knows for sure. But eventually when I do this, I always seem to find that it's a benefit, that it does seem to work every time, actually. Just depends on if I can be present through the full length and duration of the cycle of feeling that's occurring. Sometimes I only go to almost all the way, and that seems to not be quite as great. If I go all the way, it seems to curve itself into a new realm of motionings that are extremely beneficial. And so this is moving forward in one direction. And this is a reflection of what it means to set the bodhisattvic intention. It moves forward in one direction forever, for one point of focus, for the benefit of all beings everywhere without one exception, for the entirety of eternity, for the liberation of all those beings despite itself, for the benefit of what is eventually to be learned through realization to be actually itself. And so that's really very beautiful and wonderful. And so we'll be learning much more of that, but this is how all of the motions, the teachings, the sutras, all the different things come into the same understanding. So the toe exercise, how the breath exercise, how the movement exercise, how the speaking exercise, how the light language exercise, how the movement of life, and all of these things really come in to understand, teach, and show the very same things. And so how all of these dynamics and flows teach us different things. So we even show this with the flute, and with the banjo, and just with any other scale structure that can be followed in a musical chord shape type reality. And we'll explain more of this definition and quality, as it may be quite different than the way in which people may be previously viewing these things, because I, being an unlearned man, have heard few things about these things, and then I've expounded with my own direct experience to define these things from the way in which I viewed them by the way they were presented to me. Now granted, they're typically quite accurate to what common reality or mentality is saying about these things. Still, we'll come to clearly define them so that we're all sure that we're on the right place, so that we're understanding in a way of impeccability actually what's happening for one another to the best of our abilities. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is kind of interesting. I guess you could probably set it down now.
Okay.
Time to clean up.
Are we going?
We're going.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's time now. Feeling good. Feeling super together. And feeling like I want a sandwich, honestly. Super good. sweet stuff's in there. Yeah, you gotta keep sweet stuffs out of your bag. That's why I carry the food separate. And if I do put it in my bag, it's food that won't break open or something, you know. Yeah, something up with this one still. Sometimes sitting for a long time that way causes this to. What? Oh yeah. Again, that pan. We have to clean that thing. It's so easy to wipe too, but no, it's like that. Well, that's good. I guess we couldn't cook today, so it's good. Not until the ants are done eating. So we don't hurt our friends. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we can just do whatever. I'll feel that out. I mean, the pan will probably stay here. And if nobody finds us out, we can stay here again tonight. I wonder what day it is today. What? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like day of the week?
I don't mean the day, today.
Monday.
My right hand's broken. Hurt still over a year ago now. After I hurt it, I smacked it on a rock. Karmic backlash for smacking a dog to discipline it. Same way I smacked the dog, it smacked my hand on that rock, broke my hand. Terrible reverberation, you know. I was getting so frustrated, it wouldn't listen to me. You know, control. Can't control things, you know. We separated. Also cured from cancer, got her surgery on me. But yeah, it's cool backlash. But it's been effective for a long time. It's a gift that keeps on giving and teaching keeps on giving. Also stops me from being able to really work because I can't really grab things with this hand too much. You know, and if I have to be in a fast work environment, I'll probably hurt myself, you know. I like to perform a certain way. I get all nervous with people watching me. I can feel them wanting me to go fast or something. I'm like, ah! Oh my goodness. you up to?
Inside of your bag.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple down below.
Okay.
In the bottom part. I don't know. There's more arms.
Right. Okay. Well, I trust you. I also don't want to wait anymore, but. Oh, no, it's okay. I guess my immediate thing, I just wanted the blanket over the.
What's that?
So my immediate thing, I just wanted the blanket. I was like, oh. Are you sure it's gonna be okay, Dad?
They're in the bottom.
Oh, that's right. There's a divider. Be careful. Yeah, it's just so tough, having any of them in your bag with you. We don't want to hurt any of our brothers, our friends, ourselves. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, I don't really know the reason to keep the video going for this thing. Is like, I don't really do that now. It's like, I don't know if it's like oh, hey. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the speakers good. Hopefully, I mean, obviously it's a brand. I mean, if all their speakers are that way, I mean, how is somebody selling their speakers? You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be upset selling something that people return all the time. But they still sell that on stuff too, so maybe people aren't too worried about it. So, yeah. I would love some. I forgot that we had different cups. Yeah, thank you. Love you, darling. Delicioso. It really is good coffee. It's even good cold. Woo. I don't really know how we're going to videotape while walking, though. Yeah, you don't have the ability. Well, I guess this was a good little cleanup session. And through the observation of this cleanup session, I see that it might be unnecessary for you to watch us clean up. So, it seems to be maybe a waste of film, and I guess it was in thought and theory that the entire length and duration and continuation of the film without break was in some way the showing how this was an unplanned, complete, amazing perfection of limitless consciousness. But now I can see that if you don't already see this and know this, that it's really just not going to be able to be shown to you until you yourself are able to see this within yourself. And so I guess it'd be an unnecessary showing in some way, and maybe inefficient for the viewer in some manner. I mean, there was something I think that happened during the process of this that might have been really amazingly gorgeous, but still, perhaps, we'll just click on every time there's a channel happening, and we'll just leave you set up there for just in case that happens to be happening or not. But alright, love you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're all done here. Beautiful. Love you guys. See you soon.